Yo guys, early here, back at it again with another video. How's everyone doing? Welcome to my channel if you're new. If you're new around here, please leave a like, comment and hit the subscribe button right there to tune in to my next upcoming videos. I'm back on YouTube, back on the grind and back playing games and back making content for you guys. And honestly, it feels good to be back. I'm seeing all the tweets, I'm seeing all the welcome backs, I'm seeing all the comments, likes, shares. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. Now, let's get straight into the video. Now, this video is just about things I hate about Modern Warfare in general as a whole. There's quite a few things listed here and there's quite a lot to go through. I'm going to start from the top. I've just kind of put it in random order. It's not in any particular order. It's just what I thought in the moment, and I thought, you know, I'll talk about this on a video. So the first one is no point system. Now you're probably wondering, if you haven't played Call of Duty before, Call of Duty has always had a point system where you would either have a 10 point sort of system per class, and you can only use 10 of those points to create your class. So for example, if you put on a grenade, that's one of your points gone, so you would have 9 left over. If you put an attachment on, that means you would have 8 left over. Perks would have a point system too, and that would kind of feed into the point system until you have nothing left. And in Modern Warfare, there is no point system, so you can put as many attachments as you want on. Well, not really as many as you want, but the good ones, you can have a lethal, a tactical. It doesn't affect the whole class. Whereas before in previous CODs, you couldn't put on specific things. You would have to sacrifice certain things. Now, my next point leads me into the glint. Now, the glint is the little shiny thing that you see from a sniper scope when someone's aiming at you with a sniper. I'm sure everyone's seen it. That should not be in the game. First of all, if they want to put it in the game, at least put it in properly. I don't understand why on maps like Piccadilly, where there is no sun, you can still see the glint from other people's scopes. I don't think that should be a thing. If you're going to do it properly and not just put it in the game just for the sake of it. The third thing is skill-based matchmaking. I don't think there should be skill-based matchmaking, only because it takes the fun out of the whole game. The whole point of the game is to meet people that are like different, sort of on different levels. It shouldn't just be based on, oh, how good you are. You're just going to come up against people that are as good as you, because at the same time, it is a challenge, which is okay. It's okay to have a challenge, but when it's every single game, you're just try hard in trying to focus, and there's other people that are like trying just as hard as you, it becomes annoying and it takes the fun out of the game. Now I know it sounds very cliche, oh, I want easy lobbies and no, I don't want easy lobbies. I just want a fair, easy, peaceful game. I don't want to have to try hard every single game, you know. The next thing I've got on my list is kill streaks. Personally, I believe they should be able to repeat themselves. In this game, you can't repeat your kill streaks. There's a perk that lets you repeat it, which is a bit silly. I don't think it should be, you know, a thing in the game where you have to kill yourself or die for your kill streaks to come back again. It just sounds a bit silly. I mean, kill streaks have always been a big part of Call of Duty as a whole. Earning them, getting them, using them, getting kills with them, and stuff like that. I don't think it should just be removed entirely. Maybe they've just gone the wrong way about it, because, like I said, like, you need to put on a perk to actually carry on the kill streaks, which to me just seems a bit bizarre. The next thing I've got on my list is there are too many doorways and windows everywhere. On literally every single map, there's literally so many doorways and windows, and it gives people a way to camp, and it just kind of allows people to camp a lot more, because there's a lot of doorways and windows and things that they can look out of, and small little gaps as well. When you open a door, sometimes it's very loud, And if someone's camping in that vicinity, what ends up happening is that they hear you, and then they'll either turn around and kill you, which obviously annoys the person because they've been sitting in that whole sort of building for the whole time, and you can't even just kind of run away or get away because you know as soon as you open that door, you're gonna die. The next thing I've got on my list is dead silence should be a perk, not a field upgrade. Now, dead silence has always been a perk in every Call of Duty. There's no good. It's no good having um, a field upgrade because it doesn't really last that long and it defeats the purpose of having dead silence. The whole point of having dead silence is to run around silently and kill people. Now, it defeats the purpose of even having that because it only lasts for a good 10 to 20 seconds. So, if anything, it should be a perk and it should be kind of used a bit more effectively. And like I said, like if we had the point system, this could be one of those things that people could sacrifice for. For example, if for example they wanted like a extra attachment on their gun, they would have to take it off and add the perk instead. Dead silence, you know, they have to give and take, sacrifice certain things. And because there's no point system, a lot of people are very sort of easy going. A lot of people just get things handed on to their plate sort of thing. And I think dead silence is my main sort of concern because you can hear footsteps like literally from halfway across the map. It's a bit silly, especially if you've got a good headset. And the next point I have is the maps. Now, the maps personally I believe are terrible. There's not many maps in this game. There's not much variety that you can choose from. And to me it feels like you're playing the same map over and over and over again. And it just makes the game dull, it makes the game boring, and it makes the game just unfun, just not fun to play, basically. The next point is guns are unbalanced. Now, what I mean by that is some guns are OP than other guns. For example, some SMGs will beat an AR from long to medium range, and vice versa, which doesn't make any sense because SMGs we all know are good. They should be sort of the best sort of guns to use up close, not the other way round. And ARs should be good from long to medium range. We all know that, come on. Shotguns are good from close range, obviously. Snipers are good from long range. Unless you quickscope too and you're quite good at it. So every gun should be sort of based off distance and ranges and things like that. It shouldn't be ARs beating SMGs from up close because SMGs should be beating ARs. And the funny thing is, even if you're up close using SMGs, that AR can still kill you even though you shot first. And that's just beyond sort of ridiculousness, if that's even a word. The next point I've got on my list is there are not too many class setups. As we all know, you start off with 5 class setups in Modern Warfare, and I just believe 5 is just not enough. As you know, in previous CODs we would prestige and we would get an extra class setup. In this game there's no sort of option to buy more class setups or even earn more class setups, so you just have to reset a whole class and just put on whatever gun that you want to use, and that can become quite frustrating at times. Now, the next point I have is to do with the people in the game. It's not to do with the game in general, but just to do with the people in the game. Everyone uses the same guns. Now, a YouTuber would make a video about a specific gun or showing their favorite class setup or whatever gun they've got a nuke with. And what would happen is next time you would come online and everyone would be using that gun. And it just becomes quite annoying that people just want to follow fashion and just follow fashion statements. That people would say, oh, this is the OP gun, use this. And people would literally use the same gun over and over again. And you're joining lobbies where like you're dying by the same gun repeatedly. Another thing I've got listed on my list is Overkill. Now, Overkill is the perk in perk 1 slot. I just feel like personally it's overused. Going back to the point system, because there is no point system, everyone uses Overkill with a 725 as a secondary, which means is they will set like an AR for long to medium range, then they'll set a 725 when they're going into buildings and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that shouldn't be allowed. fair enough if you want to do that. But personally, I believe if we had the point system, then this will be less sort of upcoming. People wouldn't expect it as much. But now you go into lobbies and you're just expecting the same thing to happen. People running overkill with an AR and a 725, and obviously it's a good tactical thing to play. So I'm not blaming the people that are doing it, because that's just how they want to play, and that's fair enough. But personally, I believe Infinity Ward should have at least taken into account of this point system, because I feel like all these problems kind of stem from the point system if you look into it deeply. The next thing I've got on my list is snipers and marksman rifles shouldn't be giving you hit markers. Now, this is quite a controversial topic. Some say it should, some say it shouldn't, some say it should because otherwise it will just be OP and everyone will just be shooting and hard scoping across map. Some say it shouldn't because, I mean, it's just snipers, isn't it? Some people just hate snipers. But I believe sniping and using marksman rifles is hard to even pull off a shot in the first place, regardless of the range. If you're using an automatic weapon, I mean, if the enemies are using an automatic weapon and you're up close, if you shoot and you get hit marker and they've got an AR or SMG and they kill you, you're obviously going to be very, very frustrated and annoyed about that whole situation and that whole death, because you should have gotten that kill. It's just that you got that one hit marker and the enemy was getting several hit markers on you to kill you. But the disadvantage that you had for having a sniper is that you can only pull off one shot at a time. So personally, I believe that snipers and marksman rifles should be a one-shot kill no matter what, unless you're shooting them on the feet or something like that. But clear-cut one shot, it will make the game a bit more fun, a bit more sort of enjoyable, especially for people that want to snipe. And obviously we all know sniping is difficult in Call of Duty. No matter how good you are, in hindsight it's quite difficult. If you miss one shot, 90% of the time the enemy will turn around and kill you, to be honest. And the next point I've got is field upgrades. Now, personally, I believe field upgrades in general are just pointless and rubbish, because everyone uses the same upgrades, and to be honest, the game will still be same without them. If you look at it, if we didn't have the ammunition boxes, people just pick up a new weapon like we used to do in previous CODs. So it's not something that we really, really desperately need. If anything, it makes people camp even more in buildings, because all they can do is put the ammo boxes down and keep restocking on launchers and guns and bullets and everything. If we look at EMP drones, like, people use them because there is no point system. People can just put it on because of whatever. When they do get it in game, they just use it. So it's not really important. It's just, I don't know what to say about it. I feel like it's just a whole sort of, just pointless thing to be sort of invented in Modern Warfare. If anything, it makes people camp in windows and doorways with claymores, and it just becomes toxic. People just start raging a lot more. And yeah, the second point I have is kind of going back to what I said about the game in general. Nothing to do with people. This is to do with Infinity Ward and the game. I don't agree with crossplay, as majority of the people play on PC, who have a huge advantage anyway. As much as people wouldn't like to admit it, PC players do have a whole big advantage over console players in many different ways. Some would say, oh, okay, if you're good at using a controller, then it's fair for PC players to use mouse, like it's equal. No, it's not. I'm not going to go into sort of the science behind it and all the technical things. If you want to do your research, you can do your research. But PC players do have a huge advantage over console players. And I feel like you can't even switch off crossplay, especially if you want to play game modes like Ground War. They can only be played in crossplay. So it just isn't fair. I feel like there should be an option where console players can play against console players. It shouldn't have to be, oh, you have to activate crossplay to play a particular game mode. And personally, I believe the game is filled with a lot more cheaters than Call of Duty has ever been. Um, as we all know, on PC, it's very easy to get cheats and hacks or whatever that you can just download and just have them running in the background. And for console, it's not that easy. So I do believe there are a lot more cheaters using, super aim assist and all these other hacks and things like that. Um, in a nutshell, these are sort of, don't know how many I've listed, probably about 10, 12 points that I kind of hate about Modern Warfare. There's probably a lot more that I just couldn't be bothered to think about, to be honest. But these are sort of the majority of things that I hate in Modern Warfare. It is quite a lot, to be honest. I mean, if they can fix a few things, I feel like this game would be a lot more playable than what it is now. As we all know, the player base is going down. The updates are just lacking. The things that people want in the game are not being provided. Hence why people are quitting and leaving and going to other games. Um, Other than that, that's it for me today, guys. Yeah, if there's any questions or if there's anything you guys want to say, give your opinions on things, there's a comment section down below. Just comment wherever you want and I shall get back to you. And, let me know what you guys think in the comment down below. Without further ado, I'm out of here. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe and share the video everywhere you can. It's much appreciated and I'll see you next time. Peace out.